Hello everyone, welcome to GB Bricks. In today's video I'm going to be showcasing a number of sets from a company called Pantasy. I've reviewed a few of their sets in the past. They've sent me some sets for review purposes and there'll be links to those as this video goes on, and they'd sent me a few more to do the same again. Unfortunately, I've injured myself. I've trapped a nerve in my spine between my vertebrae. I mean, a lot of pain. And it makes things like building at the moment incredibly difficult because I can't look down for any sort of sustained period of time. So I've got these sets that I am planned on reviewing. That's my preferred way to showcase these sets and do a proper deep dive as opposed to just showing them. But I just can't at the minute. It's too painful to do so. So I thought I'd instead just show you them and talk through them and show you some of the options that are available if you've always been into Lego, say, and are just wondering what else is out there, because from what I've seen of Pantasy so far, their sets are of a very good quality. They use ABS bricks, same as Lego, and the designs are really quite impressive. So yeah, I'm going to show you some of the ones I've already reviewed first off, and then look at the ones they've sent me that at the moment I just can't build. So I do apologise. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to review a couple of them properly. But what sets do they make? Well, let me show you. I'm going to start briefly by mentioning a couple that I have reviewed, and there are 3 in total in fact. The first of these is the retro phone. There's a card in the top right hand corner if you want to watch the full review. This was the first one that they did send me and obviously that I reviewed. I found the build experience of this one quite tedious. There were a lot of stages that fell apart quite easily, although I did think once built the overall aesthetic and look of it was very impressive. The second one that I built was the Opera, or the Opera House, a very large and grandiose modular style building. It has a few different parts where you can open little doors, almost dollhouse style, to see some of the details inside. There is a nice interior to the building, lots of red seats obviously pointing towards the stage for the opera to take place. I did find, and this is very personal, some of the details a little over the top. It was a little gaudy at times, but obviously you can remove some of these if you want it to be a little more minimalistic. But on the whole, they do cram a lot of detail into this model, and it does look very impressive once built, certainly from the outside. Again, there's a card in the top right hand corner if you want to give that a watch. The third set that I have reviewed is the Pirate Pub. This is my favourite of the 3. As the title implies, of course, it is a pub, pirate themed, built almost with the remains of a ship, a pirate ship that's been shipwrecked at some point. Again, there are lots of parts that you can remove. One of the parts of the ship being one of these, and again, little compartments that you can open and see the interior details. The only part of this one that I don't like so much is there's a giant bottle of rum that's part of the exterior detailing. I thought this was overkill. I don't think this was necessary myself. But having said that, the level of detail and the general, the overall look of it once built is very, very good. It's a theme that doesn't get a lot of love from Lego these days, obviously pirates. So if you're looking for something pirate themed, then this is a very good option. Okay, the first of those that I've been sent that at the moment I'm not physically able to build and review. It's the Steampunk Airship set 85021. This costs $139.99. It's quite difficult to find pound or euro pricing at times. If I have found them, they'll be at the bottom of the screen. But I do love the emphasis on steampunk in a lot of Pantasy's sets. You'll see another one in a little while. And it says it's inspired by the mighty zeppelins of the past and the imaginative flair of steampunk. There are 5 of Pantasy's minifigures or characters featured, being the captain, the explorer, a female crew member, the engineer, and a male crew member, and has approximately 2,000 pieces. And I do really love the small details, a lot of gears, the port cabin windows, the actual balloon itself, the old style ship wheel. It's a very good amalgamation of traditional and technology, which is kind of what steampunk is all about. Then we have 85020, which is the Jukebox from their retro collection. The phone that I showed you at the beginning was obviously part of that collection too. $119.99 for this one, and it includes about 1,300 pieces. Obviously I haven't built this one yet, but I do love the idea of this one more than the phone. This one appeals to me much more. It looks fantastic. I mean, it really does get across that feeling of a classic jukebox. There are a large number of prints in this one, for things such as the song selection and the records themselves. And that's something I will say about the Pantasy sets, is for the vast majority of the time, anything that looks like it could be a sticker or a print generally is a print, which is great to see. And that's before I get to the best features, which is the fact that it does light up at the front to really, again, just sell that aesthetic of a classic grand jukebox. And it does have sound. You can press the play button to hear a 20-second loop of a song. Aside from that, there's also a figure that comes with it, and you can take down one of the sides and there'll be a scene within there hidden away, a little Easter egg. And whilst maybe not being as dynamic as some of the other sets in terms of, you know, the huge pirate pub or the airship I mentioned a moment ago, this really does show, this one, the quality and the ingenuity that goes into the design of some of these sets. They're really very impressive. Then we have 85023, which is the Craft Brewery. This one's similar to the other sets I've mentioned, like the Opera House and the Pirate Pub. Has a modular feel to it in terms of being able to take certain parts off to make access easier. But again, it does have a lot of hinged parts, almost dollhouse style, as I mentioned before, where you can really get in and see exactly what's going on. Each level has a distinct function within the brewery itself, and it's the brewery room, that ground floor, which is really quite interesting. There is a knob that you can turn, which will enable a number of different mechanisms. You'll kind of see the product moving along conveyor belts and what have you. It's very clever. Yeah, there's a bottling machine, a beer bottle conveyor, a keg delivery platform, a tasting bar, etc. It's nice to see something like this. I mean, I know Lego did recently do the Tudor Corner, which did have a pub of some sorts in there, but generally, obviously, they kind of shy away from doing things such as this. So if you're looking for a bit more variety in a city that you've built, a brick-built city, then some of these Pantasy sets can potentially fill a void that you might have in terms of the sort of places you want in there. Set 85024 is the Motorcycle Restaurant. Again, this one looks fantastic. I love the look of this set. The shop, the motorcycle shop itself, the way it's designed with those curved features, has a really classic, I don't know, was that like 1950s design to it? Just the curvature of the windows really is very appealing. I like the bike on top of the shop, you know, the sign, part of the signage, has a very American feel to it, this one. This reminds me of the diner that Lego did a good few years ago now. And it's quite an interesting merging of, you know, obviously motorbikes and a restaurant. It kind of has like a Planet Hollywood feel to it in that respect. I really like the colours, that kind of dark orange with the white and navy blue. I think works very well. This is possibly my favourite. Now, obviously, I haven't built this one, as I said at the start of the video, but looking at the box of this, looking at the builds I've done so far, this would be the one I'm most anticipating building next, and would hope that the build experience holds up, because on an aesthetic front, it really does look fantastic. Again, it's modular in the way that it comes apart, but does have hinged elements where you can open bits up. So nice to see the two in there, modular and almost dollhouse, together to give you full access to your model. $139.99 again for this one, if it's one that interests you. Okay, the penultimate set is 85026, which is the Steampunk Windmill Workshop. I said earlier there would be one other steampunk set mentioned in here. I didn't actually know they were sending me this one. This one was a surprise when it turned up, and it's part of their steampunk range, of course. This is an interesting looking set. There are parts of this I do really like. I like the use of things like cogs. I like the colour they've gone for. Almost feels quite rustic in some respects. The actual windmill itself, the blades of the windmill, they've used kind of like the old pirate ladder pieces, which on the one hand is quite an interesting take, being obviously a steampunk windmill. On the other, I don't know if it looks as good as personally I would like. But I do like the way, obviously it's a very classic kind of Dutch windmill with that steampunk redesign. You know, I like, again, the merging of the two. And the chimney stack at the back I do like. There are weapons being forged in a furnace, hence the chimney stack. And there are some nice printed pieces, like blueprints or work plans, that reference the other steampunk sets. Is one for the airship that we looked at earlier, for example. Nice little details, just again, going above and beyond in terms of what you're offering. And on that note, I haven't even mentioned again, probably the best feature of this set being that it does have a power function, which does enable the blades of the windmill to turn. It uses USB-C as well, so you can charge it, which is really good. And I will say, Pantasy, you really need to advertise the key features of your models more. be proud of what you offer, because to have stuff like this in your sets, you know, like the Jukebox before it, things that companies such as Lego, although they've done a few of them in recent years, have shied away from doing, and you've needed to almost buy separate power functions and power something up yourself for the most part. The box makes very little mention of the fact this does include this. It's got small mention of the fact that there is a USB-C lead in there, but doesn't really give any indication on the back that you can power it up straight out of the box. And yeah, no, be proud of what you offer for sure. And the final one, this is one of their older ones. It's actually sold out on their website now, but you may still be able to grab it on places like Amazon. But just to show that they do some licensed themes as well, this is a Metal Slug free arcade cabinet, basically, like a mini arcade cabinet. Now, if you have seen my other channel, Switch Up, you know that I like my video games, but especially like my arcade games, and I love the Metal Slug series, so seeing this set is such a clever little design. It's based on the original arcade machine, albeit it's clearly had some changes. It looks like one of those mini arcade machines you can get these days that kind of sit on a desk. And it's got a lot of interesting features. It's got pixelated acrylic characters from the game for a start. The joystick, insert coins, that sort of thing. You can return the coin out of the machine. This one does include some stickers, but they are very nice stickers, kind of PVC stickers for the logo of the machine itself and what have you. But you can actually recreate some of the scenes from the game. There are 3 in total, I believe. There's the level 1 boss, the level 3 boss, and there's Marco transforming into his kind of chubby form. The fact that the movement of the joystick controls those acrylic characters as well, it's just a very clever set. And again, Lego have done something similar to this in recent years. They did the Pac-Man machine, for example, which is a great little set in and of itself. But to get something that's kind of less mainstream, I mean, Pac-Man is a very iconic character, of course, but to have something like Metal Slug in a similar design is great. So there you have it. That's Pantasy in a nutshell, really. Some of the sets that they've created and are available for you to purchase. There will be links in the video, in the description of this video, for you to have a look at if you're interested. They're not affiliate links. It's nothing like that. They sent me these for review. As I said, that's what I like to do, to review things properly and give a proper critique. I'm just not physically able to at the minute, so I thought I'd just at least show them off for now. Let me know what you think of these sets in the comment section below. Do feel free to subscribe if you like what you've seen, and until next time, take care and happy building.